Hi and welcome to exercise video number 1 of this series. It has become more evident than ever that not just exercise is important for our health, but good nutrition, eating healthy. We know what is healthy for our bodies. We feel it. Our body tells us what is healthy, what is not. I don't know of a better time to start a project at home to build your own garden and grow your own vegetables, whether from seeds or starting with little plants that have already sprouted and getting some of your vegetables from gardening with your family. Sleep is more important than ever. We know that it restores our body and helps us build up our immune system. So please make sure you're sleeping, especially for students, more about 9 hours a day. Parents, 8 hours is good, but anything less than 8, we're compromising our immune system and our health, and going to bed at the same time. So if you were to go to bed at 7 o'clock at night, and then the next evening you go to bed at 9 p.m., that is a 2-hour time difference, and that is like a 2-hour jet lag in feeling in your body because you've changed your circadian rhythm, which is your body clock. So please have consistent wake-up times and bedtimes for sleep, and give yourself time to relax. So if we're talking about exercise, nutrition, sleep, and time to relax, please make sure that you have time to take some breaths. When was the last time that you just sat down and took 10 big breaths and inhaled as much air as possible into your lungs and then exhaled all of that air out and felt the benefit of just doing that for a minute or two? So please take some time during your day to start thinking about some of those parts of life. Exercise is a benefit for health. That's why it's in here in school. But we do need to make sure that we're eating healthy, we're sleeping well, and we're having time to relax as well as exercise. All right, so if you haven't already, I'm going to recommend that you take about 10 minutes to warm up. If you have not yet seen it already, please go back to my first warm-up video and spend about 10 minutes doing some of those exercises and other things that you like to do to warm up before exercise. You may have learned some from your dance coaches, basketball coaches, swim coaches, wherever. Please do some exercises now. You can stop this video and go back to warm up. If you are warmed up, let's continue. Today, we are going to do 6 different exercises, something that's designed for you to do at home with little or minimal equipment necessary. You will need a timer. You will need something with a stopwatch on it, whether it's a watch, stopwatch. You will need pen and paper just to write down the 6 exercises, and you'll need some water. Okay, we're going to go through 6 different activities. You will be at each activity for 1 minute. You will rotate straight away into the next exercise. Only once you've gone around all 6 activities will you take a 2-minute break with a little water break, and then you're going to repeat these 6 activities 3 times through. Okay, so like I said in my warm-up video, it's always better to work out with someone. So if you need to, press pause, go and find someone in your family to come and do these exercises with. You can actually do the same exercise with each other if it's just 2 of you. If there's more than 2 of you doing this exercise at the same time, you can actually start one person at a different station. So for example, with 6 stations, if there's 6 of you in your household, you can have one person start at each station, and after every minute you all rotate clockwise or counterclockwise around the exercises. All right, so exercise number 1, high or low planks. Please write that down. High or low plank is exercise number 1. Exercise number 2 is going to be an activity with some kind of basketball, soccer ball, juggling ball, any type of ball exercise. You have some choice in exercise number 2, depending on what equipment you have at home. Exercise number 3 is a push-ups exercise where I will show you 3 different modifications for push-ups. Exercise number 4 is a wall sit. Number 5 are sit-ups. And number 6 is jump rope, even though you don't need a jump rope if you don't have one. All right, let's jump into exercise number 1. For 1 minute, high or low plank. High plank looks like the starting push-up position. Our shoulders are stacked over our elbows and wrists. My fingers are spread nice and wide apart. I'm not back in this position with a high hip. I'm not down with my hips sinking. I'm nice and aligned, so I have another straight line from my shoulder, my hip, all the way down to my ankle. This is the high plank. You can try and hold for 1 minute. And the low plank is down on your elbows. You can have your hands flat, hands together. It's all about keeping a strong core in here. Whichever one is more comfortable for you. Exercise number 2 is using some kind of basketball, soccer ball, juggling ball. If you wanted to start practicing how to juggle, you would start with one beanbag, coming up to about your head height, bringing it back down. To incorporate a second one, you will go one under the other, leading with the opposite arm. So if I start with my left hand, or if I start with my right hand, you need to be able to do that in both directions. If you find yourself passing the ball from one hand to another, we will never get to level 3. Level 2 has to be, you have to throw both up to the apex, which is the highest part, and come back down. And if the best practice is always starting at level 1, incorporating level 2, until you can do this 10 or 15 times in a row. And then when you get to level 3, you're going to start with a juggling ball that's where you have 2 in one hand. So you can practice level 1, you can put in level 2, and then you can throw the third one. Remember, always start where you have 2 juggling balls, whether it's on this side or that side. So there's an activity you can progress and work towards, even doing 2 juggling balls with one hand, switch it to the other hand. There's one called an elevator. Oh, all right, that's something you could do at station 2. If you like soccer, you could practice doing some juggling skills. To have the ball out in front of you and to kick it back into your hands, nice and controlled. Left foot and right foot. Nice and controlled. Hopefully you're doing these exercises outside so you can get some fresh air and not in the house. My mum would not be happy if I was practicing this inside. And once you can practice this with left foot and right foot, maybe you can go left foot, right foot and catch it. So you can go 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, etc. and keep building it up until you can keep doing it. All right, if you like basketball, station 2, this won't sound good, so I won't over demonstrate this, but 10 dribbles with one hand, 10 with the other, and then keep switching, and you can actually draw a figure 8 around and between your legs too. So 10 on one side, try not to look at the ball, 10 on the other side, and then try and do a figure 8 between your legs. So, station 2 is an activity with some kind of basketball, soccer ball. I know volleyball coaches take pride in the volleyballs, but if you want to practice the soccer juggling with a volleyball, it's actually lighter and easier to do. And by lightly kicking a soccer ball, how I just showed you, kicking a volleyball in the way I just showed you, is a lot less force than when you serve a volleyball, and it's not going to damage the volleyball. Station number 3, we are going to push-ups, 3 forms of push-ups. 1 takes our body weight off the floor. Push-up number 2 is a modified push-up where there's less weight in our shoulders and our arms. And push-up 3 is a regular push-up. So number 1, you can practice just bringing your weight off the ground into a tabletop position. Modified push-up 2, I like to bring my feet off the ground Note my shoulders are still above my wrists. If anything, my wrists are a little bit wider than my shoulders, but they're aligned, okay? I'm not in this position. I'm not forward with my shoulders. They're nicely stacked above my wrists. And I'm still gonna come down into the regular push-up. If it doesn't feel like you're in the right position, come into the regular push-up position and slowly bring your knees down, and you'll find that flow. And then level 3 for push-ups, regular push-up position, down to 90 degrees at our elbows, press back up. Remember, we're doing 1 minute at each station. That station 1 was high and low plank. Station 2 was an exercise with a basketball, soccer ball, juggling ball. Exercise 3 was push-ups. Number 4, wall sit. This is gonna really strengthen your quadricep muscles. I'm gonna do it against the door over here so you can see. You're gonna find a 90-degree angle in your hips. Another one in your knees. My knees are not touching. And this is cheating. So make sure your arms are down by your side and try and hold this for 1 minute and focus on breathing. My lower back is against the wall, my shoulders are against the wall, my head is against the wall, and my arms are relaxed down by my side. I start to feel the lactic acid building up in my legs, so I need more oxygen, so keep breathing. And you're going to try and hold that for 1 minute. Station number 5, we're going to do a series of sit-ups for 1 minute. I'm going to show on the yoga mat behind us. If you have a partner to spot you, you can do that. Or you can also start to just swing your arms to touch your toes. Remember, with sit-ups, please don't pull on your neck. I recommend touching your ears, touching your cheeks, having your hands on opposite shoulders if you want to do that. Never be pulling on your neck. So 1 minute of sit-ups. If you can do 10 and you get tired, that's okay. Take a 10 or 15 second rest and try and do another 10 before the minute's up and you rotate. All right, and station 6 is jump rope. You don't need a jump rope. This will get your heart rate up for 1 minute. If you have a jump rope, great. If not, you can pretend. You do single legs. You can even do 10 in a row on one leg, 10 in a row on the other leg. We have a rhythm here with jump rope where we can start with a double bounce, 2 bounces with your feet for every 1 rope turn, nice and slow, finding that rhythm. Single bounce, 1 rope turn. Now we're moving a little quicker. The heart rate is going to go up. And then you can start to try and transfer one leg to another. Again, it's going to go even quicker. You can try and do one leg or the other leg. And there's a lot more tricks you can practice with that. So, once you've gone around all 6 stations, please take a 2-minute water break. Think about the next stations coming up. How hard did you work? Do you think you can work harder on the second time around? Or that was good, your heart rate was up, you felt good. And you're gonna rotate around those 6 stations, 3 times in total. And I hope you enjoy it. Afterwards, if you'd like to cool down, I would go back to the warm-up video exercises and look through some of those to stretch out. Make sure you hydrate. And most importantly, after exercising, make sure you put good nutrition back into your body. No junk food, not the potato chips, not the fried foods. Please put healthy vegetables in your body, and hopefully in a month or two, some of you will have gardens flourishing. I planted some greens 3 or 4 days ago, and they're already starting to take off, so I can make some smoothies in the morning. I'm going to share some recipes with you guys as this course unfolds. And there was a really fun documentary I watched on Netflix. No, I think it was on Hulu 2 nights ago. It's called The Biggest Little Farm, about how a married couple had the dream of working with nature and working with diversity within nature, and they started to build a farm where they didn't spray any chemicals, that they were using nature to work with each other to provide the healthiest soils and the healthiest vegetables and crops that came out of the land. So parents, please check out The Biggest Little Farm on Hulu. You can watch the YouTube trailer, and it is rated PG for parental guidance. So I recommend watching it, and depending on if you're a kindergarten through 5th grade, maybe it's something you'd like to sit down and watch with your kids. That's totally up to you, and I'll have more things to share. But have a good day, and we'll see you with the second lesson coming soon. Thank you.